All right. Good morning. Good morning. Man, it's so nice to be able to sleep in, wake up, the sun's out. Instead of waking up at dark 30 and it's dark. One thing I love about summer, sun's up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But oh well, it's okay. All right, so hope everybody as always, I hope everybody had a blessed Shabbat yesterday and had a restful day. Um, I'm real thankful, and I want to thank everybody who's been faithfully a part of watching and following the daily Psalm reading. It seems to be growing a lot, and I did, as some of you, if you see on our group page, or if you go to my timeline, you'll find it. It's got a big head of a white lion, and I started a YouTube page called Storytime with Yah, and so I finally got all of the daily readings of the Psalms so far. They're all uploaded on there, up to 45, which is yesterday. I'll upload this one as soon as we're done, and then just kind of thinking that having that, and then the Proverbs will be next, and we even talked about possibly going through Job and just reading a chapter of Job a day, and like a story, kind of like just reading a story to somebody. So that's why I called it Story Time with Yah. So we'll see what happens with it. If you guys like it and stuff, if you think it's a good idea, then help share it with people who you think would enjoy it. Because the whole reason why I'm doing this is I just want people to get fed with the word. I don't care if anybody listens to my dribble of my 2 cents worth on stuff, but if I know some people have such a busy life and they may accidentally allow that to be an excuse to, well, I just don't have time to read the word. Well, at least this way they can just, put it on, push play, and put the phone down, and they can hear me read the scriptures, or somebody, find some kind of source. I know that Robert, James is helping Robert record the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and as soon as we get Genesis done, we're going to post that on our website, and as soon as we get the whole Torah done, of course, it'll be posted on the website. People can listen to the Torah being read. So Robert's got a much better reading voice than I do. So anyways, just sharing that, and let me know. All right, so Psalm 46, day 46, Psalm 46. Elohim is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear. Even though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. There is a river whose streams shall make glad the city of Elohim, the holy city of the tabernacle of the Most High. Elohim is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. Adonai shall help her, just as the break of dawn. The nations raged, the kings were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Wow. Yehovah Tzvaot is with us. The El of Yaakov is our refuge. Come, behold the works of Yehovah, who has made desolations in the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in two. He turns the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am Yah. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Yehovah Tzvaot is with us. The El the El of Yaakov is our refuge, Selah. One of the things that gets me thinking, listening to this is, two, is one, the power of Yah is absolutely amazing. Just reading this, it's awe-inspiring of wondering what it will be like to see the world react to Yah's voice. I mean, we know the scripture talks about that the earth will shake like a drunkard and all these things. I mean, and when you look at let's see, where does it say? Oh, right here. Verse 6. Well, the last part of verse 6, but let's just read verse 6. The nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. And so many prophecy pastors, throughout history, they've tried to they try to say that these incidences are going to be nuclear bombs and stuff like that. Well, I flat out think that's just baloney. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Because we look at Sodom and Gomorrah, we look at the flood, we look at all the stuff that Yah has done throughout history. He never needed man-made weaponry to fulfill what he wanted to do. The whole purpose is that we know that Yah is the one that did this. If nuclear bombs are used or whatever, then that's not us thinking Yah did this, right? Same thing with Zechariah 14. It speaks of verse 3 or 4. It says that Yehovah steps down the Mount of Olives. Well, we know that's the return of Messiah, him stepping down the Mount of Olives, and it splits. And then later on in the scripture verses, about 10 verses into it, starts talking about, and their flesh shall melt from their bones, their eyes from their eye sockets, their tongue from their mouth, and all of this stuff. Peachy. Man, that cat just meowing at the door upstairs. But anyways, it talks about all of this, and all end time prophecy pastors from the church that I've ever heard of since the 70s have all said the same thing. This is going to be nuclear war. And it's like, no, it's not. Because 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 talks about that he will destroy the Antichrist with the brightness of his coming. Yah is going to have a brightness on him that'll melt anything that is unclean, impure. I mean, it can do whatever he wants it to do. It can melt the flesh off somebody's bones. He can speak a word. He can utter his voice and the earth melts. This is a mighty and powerful Yah that we serve. But the refuge is, I love how he tells us, Yah is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, even though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake and shake with its swelling. I mean, he's telling us we have nothing to worry about. He's telling us that all the earth can tear apart all around us, and he will keep us safe. And we have the examples of that throughout history. We have the examples of that throughout scripture. The flood, all the earth was destroyed by water, yet 8 people were kept safe by the atonement of the pitch that covered the ark, like I got into yesterday. Israel was kept in Goshen, which was in the middle of Egypt, and as all the plagues, darkness and locusts and everything was just annihilating everything around them. It didn't touch them. It didn't touch their livestock. It didn't touch their crops. Didn't touch nothing. Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed. You know, historians have tried to declare that it was some volcano off in the distance blew up and it all rained down on it. So yeah, so this volcano blew up, and the only place that it rained down on was Sodom and Gomorrah. What about all the circumference area, all around the other side of it? There's nothing to that. And not to mention the fact that Sodom and Gomorrah has the purest sulfur on the entire planet. It's like 98.7 or 98.9% pure white sulfur. It's the hottest sulfur in the world, and it can only be found there. We are in his hands, and there is nothing for us to worry about. We have nothing to ever be afraid of. The only thing that we should ever fear is him, because the beginning of wisdom is the fear of Yah. But we have nothing to fear other than that. We don't have to fear our government and what it's doing. We don't have to fear the judgment that's coming on this earth, or the nation you may live in, or the city you may live in, or whatever the case may be. We have nothing to be afraid. We don't need to go off grid, go run and hide in the hills, because scripture says that's what the kings of the nations and stuff do in Revelation 6. It says that they run off and hide in the hills and hide in the caves, so that, and they cry out for the rocks to fall upon them to keep them from the wrath of the Lamb. And I think that's kind of ironic, because they think that if they die, it's going to protect them from him. We don't need to run from anything. Now, if Yah tells you, gather up some food and go over here, then he's giving you a place where he's going to keep you safe. But other than that, you're safe right where you're at. You are safe because he says you're safe. Because as Psalm 91 teaches us, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. In verse 7 and 8, for you will see 1,000 fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come nigh you, but you will observe and see the punishment of the wicked. Again and again throughout Scripture, Yah says, I will take care of you. How many times throughout the Torah and throughout Tanakh does Yah say, I will fight for you? Obey me, keep my commandments, keep my covenant, walk in my ways, and I will fight for you. Just like he did for Gideon in the 300. All they were to do was break the jars in their hands, blow the 300 shofars, yell as loud as they could. And that was all they did in that war. And while the tens of thousands of enemy army was down in the valley, the fear overwhelmed them, because the spirit of fear from Yah came upon them, and they were so terrified they all killed each other. I can keep going on. We know. So don't be afraid, Mishpachah, of the things around you. And like Yeshua said, do not be afraid of he who can harm you and do nothing else, but be afraid of the one who can not only harm you, but cast your soul into the everlasting fire. That's who we need to be afraid of. That's who we need to fear. Amen. So Mishpachah, as you go about today, and as you continue to get ready, and as we all get ready to enter into Yom Teruah tonight at sundown, the Feast of Trumpets, if you don't have a trumpet, don't have a shofar, find something. Find a little plastic tube. Go to, I'm not joking, I did this. Go to Home Depot. Get you a 1-inch, 18-inch long, 2-foot long piece of tube. And then get you an 1.5 inch, 1 3/4 one, and put the other one a couple inches into that one and tape it, seal it up, and blow it. That's how I made my very first shofar. Something like that. Find something like that. Have fun. Blow that shofar. Yeah, I will love it. Stop it. Be quiet. Man, that cat meowing like crazy. What are you meowing for? Huh? I'm trying to talk to these people. All right, here, come here. There, see? Look, look. But anyways, so may you all have an awesome and blessed day of preparation for this Shabbat tomorrow, for this high Sabbath. And may you enjoy your Yom Teruah. And if it's your first time, don't worry about if you're doing it right or not. The point is that you know about it and you're doing what you can. And you understand what this feast means to an extent. You've gotten some kind of understanding from Yah that this is one of his feasts. Enjoy that. And just ponder on it. Read Leviticus 23. Read the part about the Feast of Trumpets. You know, read about the part where the Israelites marched around Jericho. Read about the part of the return of Messiah and the sound of the trumpet, 1 Corinthians 15, 51 through 53, 1 Thessalonians 4, 16 through 18. Read about all these things and let it absorb into your heart, amen? And think about it, enjoy it, and remember, Yah has your back and he has your front. Yah has got you protected. You're under his wing. Don't take yourself out from under there. Don't peek out and walk away thinking that you're safe. Stay under the shadow of Yehovah and abide under him. Amen. So may y'all have an awesome and blessed day, and we will talk to you soon. Shalom, shalom.